So we started with 68. We are now down to the final four. And here to break it all down for us is our college basketball guru, Scott Gleeson. So Scott, I want you to set the stage for us. After all the shocking upsets, St. Peter's Cinderella run, it really now is just blue blood royalty left in NOLA. So how do we get down to these final four juggernauts?
Well, I mean, in some ways it's a surprise, even though we're seeing the four blue bloods of the sport, because last season, remember, I mean, this was not the case at all. So with Duke and North Carolina, it's going to be so exciting because this is what college basketball fans have been wanting, probably since the rivalry started. And then you've got Kansas and Villanova. These are two programs that, have storied, histories and championships. So this is as good as it gets when it comes to college hoops.
Before we do dive into the Final Four, I want to put a bow tie on St. Peter's run to the Elite Eight. It's the farthest a 15 seed has ever gone. Where do the Peacocks rank amongst all-time Cinderellas?
So I would put them right at the top as far as being one of the best Cinderellas of all time. And it just goes to the simple fact that they were number 15 seed and they got all the way to the Elite Eight. Mm-hmm. The thing that's so fun about Cinderella stories, about, bracket busters and, that NCAA tournament darling, is that they really just play possessed and with such a bravado and confidence, such a moxie that gets them to be able to play their best brand of basketball. You see, some of these kingpin programs just look completely in awe because they're not expected to lose. And so with St. Peter's, I just felt like Shaheen Holloway got this team to play excellent defense, and we haven't really seen that with a lot of Cinderellas. It's usually just great shot making. It was shot making and defense. So, shout out to St. Peter's, the Peacocks. They were the story of this tournament, no matter what happens in the Final Four.
Duke and UNC is the biggest rivalry in the game. It's consistently the biggest draw of the regular season of college basketball. And now for the first time ever, the rivalry has made it to the Final Four. How do you think this is going to add to the legacy of the rivalry?
Yeah, so this is going to definitely be one of the best college basketball matchups we've seen in recent memory. It's the fact that both of these teams are surging, red hot, and playing their best brand of basketball. I mean, you talk about teams that peak at the right time. Look at Duke and North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And so with Carolina, to me, they really hit their stride when they upset Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium. That was when they really started to show hunger. And Brady Manick, to me, is the X factor for that Carolina team. If he's shooting threes, if he's making threes, they're just, they have a different dimension. And then Duke, to me, they were looking like they were going to lose in the first round the way that they were playing towards the end of the season. But then they found their identity. They started playing for themselves and not just for Coach K. Paolo Banchero and Jeremy Roach, those two guys, to me, have really just stepped up. And to me, it's psychologically, too. They've showed a mindset of determination that isn't just about, the X's and O's in the stat sheet. They want to win and they're hungry to win, and it definitely shows on the court.
On one side of the bracket, we have the only one seed left in Kansas taking on Villanova. The Wildcats did suffer some devastating news with Justin Moore to a torn Achilles. Do you think this is the Jayhawks game to lose?
Definitely, especially when, Coach Bill Self he's had a phenomenal career, but really, Kansas is wanting championships, national championships, not just Big 12 regular season championships. Or just getting to the Final Four. That fan base wants a title to hang in the rafters. And, Self hasn't done it since 2008. So in a lot of ways, there's so much pressure before the injury that has happened to Villanova. And now that is just even more. So Kansas is going to be the favorite. I will say that I think Kansas has found another gear, and they're arguably the favorite, as great as Duke is playing in the whole side of the Final Four, because of Remy Martin. This is the transfer from Arizona State who, hasn't been playing his best basketball throughout the season, had some injuries, wasn't at full health. And now he is as good as it gets, right? And giving that extra offense to Kansas, it's also blended in with the chemistry. So, Coach Self, in Chicago for the Elite Eight press conference was basically just saying how this gives them an opportunity to be a different team and a better team than they've been all season long, which is pretty scary considering they're a one seed.
All right, Scott, one last prediction. How do you see it all shaking out in NOLA, and who do you see coming away holding the trophy in the big sea of confetti?
Yeah, so to me, Kansas beats Villanova just based on that injury. As seasoned and veterans are on Villanova, I see Kansas being able to use their weapons and their own experience to get past Villanova and make it to the title game. And then I think Duke's going to take down North Carolina. They're going to get that sweet revenge, from spoiling Coach K's final home game at Cameron Indoor. They're going to play determined, obviously, to get to the title game, but also to knock off that rival. then in the championship, I really see this being a team of destiny with Duke. And as great as Kansas has been playing, there's something about a confidence and a psyche, and we see it with Duke. This whole NCAA tournament, they've been locked in, they've been playing great basketball, and they've been tested in a way that really has helped them find their identity. So Duke, to me, cuts down the nets, and will send off Coach K in style.
I hope Scott is right with that prediction. I mean, I know I was rocking my little Carolina shirt, but I think we're all hoping for a storybook ending for Coach K.
I know, you'd love to see it. But after the break, we hop over to the other side of the sports spectrum when we sit down with Aggies legend and former NFL quarterback Johnny Manziel. You won't want to miss what he has to say after the break. Hey, sports fans, if you want to watch more sports seriously, be sure to check out these clips right here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all the great content from us here at USA Today Sports.